Okay, now we're going to talk about how to put a rolling credits at the end of your show, and also how to put a crawl that goes across the bottom of the screen. So I've already created this video bed here that will roll the titles over. So I'm going to come here and go ahead and go into the title tool and under new title, and we'll use the default roll. Now we're going to call this end credit roll. And I don't recommend that you try to type the whole credit roll in here. There's no spell check, there's no other text type tools other than this is a graphic design program. I've created the credit over here in a word processor and just saved it as a simple text file. So I'm just going to highlight this here and copy, and then go back to Premiere here and go on my text tool and click and do a paste. And you see you still need a little bit of cleanup here, but mostly all the work's been done and it's been spell checked and all these things. So let's go back into the text tool here, and let's just work on cleaning this up just a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now what we might want to do is, since these are all appearing over various white backgrounds, we're going to go ahead and highlight this text here, and let's choose a little bit thicker font. Let's go up here to, again, something along the lines of Arial, and let's put it on black. And then of course we're going to have to make these a little bit smaller now. I may have to clean this up a little bit more, but not too bad. Again, we come in here with the text tool and just clean it up just a little. Okay, and then let's do the same thing up here. Let's highlight this text. Let's go with, again, let's go with Arial and black. And again, we'll have to make it smaller. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and select all these letters and just put a little bit of a stroke on the edge to make them a little more visible against any kind of white background. We're going to add an outer stroke, and we're going to keep it black, and the size is 10. Let's see how that looks. Looks like it might need a little bit more on the edge there, so let's boost that size up to about 20. Okay, that's looking pretty good, and I think we can do one more thing here to just add a bit of a drop shadow. And let's put the opacity up to around 75. Now, what we need to do here, now that we've got this at least basically laid out, is we're going to go and see how it's going to appear on the screen. So let's set these roll and crawl options. Yes, we're doing a roll. We want it to start off the screen, and we want it to end off the screen. So we can set those here, and we go OK, and all we have to do is close it, and it will be here in our titles folder. So let's just grab it and drag it out here and drop it on the top of our movie here. Now we're going to put some end credits here, so I just want to scroll out all the way until this last shot here, and then over this last shot we're going to go back into the title tool, and we're going to create another roll, and we're going to call this end credit. And we're again going to go back out to where we created the end credits outside the program. Go back to Premiere, and let's get the text tool and let's lay this in there. Okay. Now let's stick with the same fonts that we had before. So we'll highlight this. We'll create it as black. Dial the size down and center it. A little bit larger. Keeping within the title safe. And we will start it off screen, but we will not end it off screen. We want it to end right on the screen there. So let's go ahead and say OK to that and drop this off here. And let's take this title and put it right here. Trim it up. Now, oops, let's trim it up right to the end. Now, let's see what we have here. As we play it back, our credits roll. The end. Okay, now the last title we're going to show you is to how to make a crawl here. So again, we're going to go back here. We've got our baseline here, baseline video. We're going to go to title, new title, and default crawl. And let's call this crawl. And again, we don't recommend typing this inside the program. We'll go to the word processor where we've saved a text file, copy this, come back into Premiere, go to our title tool, and paste. Now the only thing we're going to do here is turn this into a bolder font. I'm going to take the font size down. Well, actually, I kind of like it that size. And to keep it just from being white on white, we're going to make it be a nice green here. Maybe darken it up just a little bit. There we go. And we're going to put a little tiny bit of a outer stroke on it. And we're going to make that outer stroke be white. And let's bring that down to 5. Just so we get a little bit of a highlight there. And then I'm always one for drop shadow, so I'm going to turn on that just to make it pop a little bit. And we're going to pop this down here in the lower third area. Now what we'll also do here is go to our crawl options. We're going to crawl left because that's normally the direction that we read in. We're going to start it off screen and end it off screen. Go ahead and say OK. And then close this up. And we have our crawl here. So we'll go ahead and put it up above our video on video track 2. And stretch this out the length that we want the crawl to be to cover all these pieces of video. And here we go. So let's roll it. And we have our title crawl. And that's how we do rolling and crawling titles in Premiere.